Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q3 FY22 earnings conference call of PSP Projects Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Ms. Krishna Patel from Christensen Advisory. Thank you, and over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Margaret. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Christensen, I welcome all participants on the Q3 FY 2020 earnings conference call of PSP Projects Limited. We have with us today Mr. Prahlad Patel, Chairman, MD and CEO, and Ms. Hetal Patel, the Chief Financial Officer of PSP Projects Limited. Without further ado, I would like to hand over to the management for their opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna. Good afternoon, everyone. We are pleased to welcome you to our earnings call for Q3 FY22. Please note that a copy of our disclosures is available on the investor section of our website as well as the stock exchanges. Please do note that anything said on this call with respect to our outlook towards future or which could be construed as a forward-looking statement must be reviewed in conjunction with the risk that the company faces. With that, I would like to hand over the floor to our MD, Mr. Prahlad Patel, for his opening statement. Thank you.
Thank you, Hetal. Good afternoon, everyone. We welcome you all to the earnings call of PSP Projects Limited. I trust everyone is keeping safe and healthy. During the third quarter, in revenue terms, we recorded 24% growth on year-on-year basis and EBITDA growth of 58%. The EBITDA margin expansion is largely attributed to near completion of major projects of PSP Projects Limited. Orders on hand stands at rupees 4,008 crores as on 31st December 2021. All the projects are fully mobilized other than EWS housing projects in Maharashtra. These two projects together contribute only 18% of total order book. Despite the festivities of Diwali during the quarter, the projects are operating at optimum capacity, which has led to faster execution of projects and resulted in a better revenue generation of 485 crores. During 9 months FY22, we have almost reached to the revenue of the whole of the last financial year FY21 and recorded a growth of 74% on 9-month basis. In terms of profitability, on 9-month basis, we have recorded a higher profit of 152%. During the quarter, we have completed 5 projects, out of which 3 major projects completed includes Nestle Plant Sanand, rupees 130 crore, Leela Hotel Interior Gandhinagar, rupees 50 crore, Interior for Sardar Dham is rupees 40 crore. Total projects completed by PSP Projects till date totals to 179. Our project, the Kashi Vishwanath Corridor, was inaugurated on 13th December 2021 by our Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. This project was our first project in the state of UP, and we have completed in record time of 20 months despite of so many challenges like material and logistic restriction, pilgrim movements, and 2 major COVID waves. We are thankful to the government for providing necessary support to the project on time-to-time basis. During this quarter, we added 4 new projects, namely construction of residential building of PSA Mahila Battalion in UP for rupees 239 crore, Gujarat Metro Rail MEP work of rupees 50 crore, MRF Dahej plant repeat order of rupees 27.5 crore. In November 2021, we have submitted qualifying bid for the Executive Conclave as a part of Central Vista, the announcement of which is still awaited. Our order inflow during the 9 months of financial year 2022 are rupees 978 crore, which includes a major order from multinational company to build steel plant at Ajira and residential building of PSC Battalion in UP. Going forward, we have a big pipeline of approximately rupees 300 crore, of which 49% is from private projects and around 60% is from state of Gujarat. During the quarter, we have successfully commissioned the precast factory, which the total investment of rupees 109 crore. We have received order from L&T to the value of 51 crore and booked the revenue during this quarter to the tune of rupees 4.4 crore. The timeline is complete the project is 30th June 2022. We are happy to announce that December 2021, we have successfully exited our investment in both our US subsidiary by selling the stake of PSP Fremont at $10,000. Also, the entire loan amount has been duly received along with interest. Now, update about few of our large projects. First, which we always wants to hear about is Surat Diamond Boost. Yes, it is almost at the verge of completion. We have started commissioning of phase part 1, that is 3 towers, which is going to be completed by 5th of February. Second phase, that is the second loop, which is again 3 tower, which is going to go from 5th February to 15th of February. Until last month of February, we intend to complete the whole of the project and hand over to Diamond Boost Association to start their interior works. And update on medical college and hospital. Yes, all the projects have been mobilized and all the projects have started initially on the foundation level. We have already stayed in the last quarter also. The revenue generation has already been started in UP Medical College and hospital projects. So all the projects are going on smoothly. Status of Bhiwandi and Pandharpur project. Yes, Bhiwandi project still is the status quo. The matter is in the court, and in Pandharpur, we have just received a letter from Pandharpur Council saying that they are going to pay us 6 crores out of 20 crore outstanding, for which we are replying to them if they are going to give conditional or without condition. So that is the status about Bhiwandi and Pandharpur. With this, I conclude my remarks, and now I would like to hand over the call to Ms. Setal Patel to take us through the financials.
Thank you, sir. The financial performance during the quarter and 9 months ended December 2021 is as below. Quarter 3 FY22 versus Quarter 3 FY21. Revenue from operations for the quarter is rupees 486 crores versus rupees 390 crores in Quarter 3 FY21, which is higher by 24% on YOY basis. EBITDA for quarter is at rupees 74 crores versus rupees 47 crores in Quarter 3 FY21, which is higher by 68% on YOY basis. EBITDA margin is at 15% versus 12% in Quarter 3 FY21. Net profit for the quarter is at rupees 47 crores versus rupees 28 crores in Quarter 3 FY21, which is higher by 68% on YOY basis. PAT margin is at 9.5% versus 7% in Q3 FY21. On 9 months basis, revenue from operations during the 9 months is rupees 1193 crores versus rupees 740 crores in 9 months FY21, which is higher by 61% on YOY basis. EBITDA during the 9 months is at rupees 168 crores versus rupees 73 crores in 9 months FY21, which is higher by 131% on YOY basis. EBITDA margin is at 14% versus 10% in 9 months FY21. Net profit during the 9 months is at rupees 109 crores versus 40 crores in 9 months FY21, which is higher by 172% on YOY basis. PAT margin is at 9% versus 5% in 9 months FY21. The revenue generated from Surat Diamond Boost project was rupees 93 crores during Quarter 3 FY22. Cumulative revenue till December 31st, 2021 is 1657 crores for Surat project. UP project's revenue during the quarter was 38 crores and revenue booked till December 31st is 64 crores in total. During the quarter, company has commissioned its precast facility and completed the capitalization of the assets. Total assets for precast facility is 109 crores, including land of rupees 20 crores. Revenue booked for the precast for this quarter is rupees 4.57 crores. During the quarter, company has divested 100% stake, that is 10,000 equity shares in its wholly owned subsidiary, US subsidiary, that is PSP Projects Inc., for a consideration of $10,000. Prior to the divestment, outstanding loan and interest due from the WOS was received in full, totaling $50 lakhs during this quarter. Considering the full recovery of loan, the provision made in earlier years for impairment of loan to the extent of 2.14 crores has been reversed during this quarter, and the same has been included under the head Other Income. Regarding Bhiwandi project expenses, out of total expenditure of 9 crores, which is shown as WIP in the financials, we have made provision for expenses of 3.16 crores during this quarter and 6.06 crores in total. The same is included in other expenses. Finance cost during the quarter has increased, which has an impact of 4 crores towards interest on mobilization advance for UP projects and 1.5 crores due to increase in utilization of WC working capital facilities and interest on precast machinery loans. During the quarter, the company has reviewed recoverability of loan given to its wholly owned Indian subsidiary, which is PSP Projects and Proactive Constructions Private Limited, and made a provision for impairment of loan to the extent of 2 crores, which is included in other expenses. Working capital days are as follows. Debtor days are 71, creditor days are 46, inventory days are 70, and total working capital days are 43. Out of total credit facility of 1,047 crores, utilized limit is 543 crores, of which 84 crores are fund-based utilization and 459 crores is non-fund-based utilization. As on 31st December 2021, the company has total fixed deposit of 215 crores, out of which free deposits of 43 crores, FD worth rupees 166 crores are under lien with banks for credit facilities. FD given to the clients as security deposits amounts to rupees 6 crores. Work on hand as on 31st December 21 is 4,008 crores, which comprises rupees 117 crores for Surat Diamond Bourse project. That concludes the update on financials, and we are now open for question and answers. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on the touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Anyone who would like to ask a question, please press star and 1 at this time. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Shravan Shah from Dolat Capital Markets. Please go ahead.
Congratulations on good performance, particularly on margin and profitability PAT front. Sir, so the first basic question is on in terms of the guidance on order inflow revenue, because last time we were talking about 20 to 25% revenue growth for full year. So now definitely it will be much higher. And how do we now look at FY23 in terms of the growth on revenue front?
Thank you, Shravan. See, this is related, again, I am saying that the revenue growth, what we have expected, the order inflow growth, what we have expected will be in the range of the revenue which we are going to generate. That can be in the range of 1,700 to 1,800 crore or 1,600 to 1,700 crore. And we always expect that the growth of our order should also be inflated to 20-25% to the extent what we have growth in the revenue. So still I am saying that we will be in the range of 1,600 to 1,700 crore inflow, or maybe little bit more if some of the orders which we are expecting gets converted, which is there in the pipeline line. So I am still sticking to the figure of 1,600 plus in terms of order inflow.
Okay. And revenue, you are saying it would be 1,700 to 1,800 crore revenue we can look at for this year. So next year, how do we look at now in terms of the growth on revenue and also in terms of the margin? So but definitely it is higher than what we were expecting, 12 to 13%. So any upward revision in margin guidance for this year and next year?
So this is an exceptional case when we are thinking about even profit growth or EBITDA growth, because this is something which is related in which quarter what type of work is done. As Settlement, and I already explained in my first comment that this is because of the completion of some of the projects at the end stage, and some of the bills are booked at the last stage which are pending in terms of discussions with the client and all those issues. So probably still we stick to that EBITDA should be in the range of 12 and 13%. 15% is an exceptional case, as in when there is such types of project or such type of quarter in what type of work is being executed. So, and as far as your growth in terms of March 2023, I'm still saying that we always believe in making reaching to 20% plus, maybe 25% or 30%, but let us focus on minimum 20% from what revenue which we are going to generate in this year.
So that's a great thing to look at. So now if you can help us in terms of the bid pipeline that you said 3,500 crore, 60% in Gujarat. So if you can mention some of the projects, and also now STB, as you said, it would be over in this February. So now the eligibility, previously we were saying 2,000 and 2,500 or 2,500 and 3,000 crore plus. So are we looking at any of such large projects or planning to bid, including even the Central Vista?
Yes, still that opportunity is still remaining, because as you are knowing that the thing has happened from last quarter to this quarter in terms of Central Vista. The total orders which were finalized before September, the figure remains the same. So the chances for PSP getting qualified in future after February for this type of project remains there. But it is not only about the Central Vista that PSP is aiming at. It can be so many other opportunities which I have been always saying that there are few such types of projects like Vishwanath Temple is going to come all over India, and any other such project which is in the value is more than 1,000 crore. So we should focus on any type of project, not only the Central Vista. And yes, what about the 3,500 crore order book? I will not name the client's name, but I will give you some of the examples that the sports complex in Ahmedabad is 600 crore. There is a residential project in Mumbai that is 300 crore. That is one corporate office head office in Ahmedabad is 200 crore. There is a pharma company's expansion of factories 200 crore. One commercial mall at Ahmedabad is 200 crore. One factory project near Surat is 150 crore. Steel plant expansion is 150 crore. Phase 2 of one of our existing client which is coming up soon, that is 100 crore. MEP works for GMRC is in the range of 100 crore. A temple project in Ahmedabad is about 80 crore. So this all totals to 3,500 crore, including that project of Central Vista, 1,171 crore.
Okay, but currently we are not having anything 500 crore plus kind of a project which is under the bid pipeline at present.
I already mentioned 600 crore project which is we are going to bid is sports complex at Ahmedabad.
Okay.
300 crore residential projects in 300 crore residential project in Mumbai, and 200 crore projects both of corporate companies, corporate office, and their corporate office, that company's pharmaceutical plant.
Okay. Lastly, Settlement retention money, unbilled revenue, and mobilization advance, if you can give.
See, at present, it is in line with last quarter only. We have not finalized the balance sheet numbers, but yeah, there is no significant difference compared to previous quarter. So whatever routine billings are done, so to that extent, retention money has been reduced.
Okay, thank you and all the best, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dhananjay Mishra from Sunidhi Securities and Finance Limited. Please go ahead.
Yeah, congratulations on very strong numbers, sir. In terms of execution also, this quarter has been one of the best, I think, in terms of everything. So my question is regarding, like, we have, if we exclude BMC order, we are at 3,400 crore, 3,500 crore order, 3,400 crore order book. And so what is the realistic number in terms of order inflow? Because this year, I think we are already at the end of the financial year. So you said 1,600, 1,700 is still possible in terms of order inflow. So next year, if we look at for the next 2 years, what could be the order inflow size to grow at 25 to 30% level, which we have been guiding for the long, in terms of long-term growth?
See, 3,500 crore excluding this Bhiwandi, you are absolutely right, and that's the today also. If we see the maximum revenue which we can generate from next quarter is 600. If we exclude that 600, still we are expecting more than 600 to 700 crore inflow. So probably at the outstanding of March 2023, we will have a clear outstanding order book of again 3,500 crore. So which is, I personally see, is sufficient for next year's 20% growth. But it is not about only the 600 or 700, depending upon the opportunity that can go beyond 700 crore also. But keeping the limited little figures on a conservative side, I would say it will be in the range of 600 to 700 crore addition from here. And that will give an order book, outstanding order book in March 2023 at 3,500 crore plus.
Okay. And sir, this remaining 10,000 crore which from Central Vista, can we expect these orders will be finalized in FY23 itself, or it will take longer?
Probably it should get concluded by FY23. That is there. So let us see how it works. But probably it should be concluded before FY23. And it is not only 10,000, it is still 15,000 crores of order to come from Central Vista.
Okay, so after 15,000 already awarded, we still have 15,000 crore.
No, it is only 5,000. It is only about 5,000 which is being awarded out of 20,000 which is being announced.
Okay. So 15,000 is still opportunity in this.
There is a scope where we can be a participant in future.
And the order we have already bid is what could be the size of those orders? It is 1,000 or something like that?
1,172.
Okay. Still the hurdle of this qualification is connected to this Surat Diamond, or it is already we have got certification to bid for 2,000 crore plus order?
We have got certification, but still let us hope that once we get qualified once in Central Vista, then we are through. Or by end of February, it will be 100% through.
Okay, sir. That's all from my side. All the best for the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that the management will be able to address questions from all participants, we would request you to please limit your question to 3 at a time. Should you have a follow-up question, please rejoin the queue. Thank you. The next question is from the line of Parikshit Kandpal from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, Prahlad bhai. Congratulations on a good set of numbers. So my first question is...
sorry to interrupt you, Mr. Kandpal. Your audio is sounding a bit distant. Can you please come on the handset mode? I think you're on speaker.
One second. Yeah, so congratulations on getting the first order of the precast facility. So just wanted more sense from you, sir, given that the L&T has got the major chunk of these packages. So is this a test order from L&T wherein once you deliver and then they will significantly ramp up the ordering? So how do you see the loading or utilization improving for this facility? Can you just give some sense there?
See, that actually you can consider as a test order, but that was the only order which they could finalize because of looking to the phase of construction which is going on at the ground level. So the requirement of the track work has just started before few months only. So the major precast which is to be fixed on the track, that is going to be required by them in the next year. So probably the first portion of substations where they required precast, they have finalized with us, and we are the only contractor who are supplying precast for that type of work. And on the track side, that will be the requirement will be more than 700 crore, that they may be going for 2 agencies or maybe 3 agencies. So, of course, the delivery and the performance work is going to play a key role for giving us the next order.
So annually, how much you can get on peak utilization, sir, near 100%? So how much revenues can be on order book? Revenue can be catered from this facility?
So that depends on what type of work we are going ahead. See, now presently we have entered into infrastructure. Majorly this plant has been built for the part of buildings. But if we go on continuing with getting the orders on the building side as well as the infrastructure side, probably maximum 300 crore revenue we can generate.
Okay. So that could be a recurring order book annually and with the current capacity of 1 million square feet, right?
Yeah, that is the maximum which we can see. Or if you are on the addition of some of the things on the plant side, we can still add on, but that depends on the order requirement because we have that facility of a huge land. So we can expand on a little side at the machinery level to cater some more orders out.
Okay. So just one more question on this. You said there were some gains during this quarter, one-offs. So if you can just quantify, sir, how much of the amount in the EBITDA was attributable to this one-off kind of like projects nearing completion and gains on account of that?
Sorry, Parikshit ji, could not get your question. Can you please repeat?
Ma'am, PS sir earlier said in the call that the margin this quarter of 15%, 15.3% has been little higher and sustainable margins will be 12-13%. There were some projects which were nearing completion and we got some benefit because of reversals of provisions or so if you can quantify that amount, how much would be the reversals so that to get more sense on the number?
Parikshit, she has already given in his comments related to what the value of work which we have done in Surat and Kashi Vishwanath and Bombay Stock Exchange Forum. I think these are the 2 major projects and BSC is the minor project. So these are the 3 projects which is getting completed. A figure I think she mentioned in
the increase in EBITDA that we cannot work out, but the BOQ items which were carried out for this project was with higher margin. So that is the reason for this increased EBITDA margin. Because almost we have booked 93 crore for FCB and even Kashi also around for this quarter 125 crores was done.
Okay. And ma'am, this working capital numbers, if you can just repeat the days, I just missed that number of days you mentioned. That working capital debtors was 71 days, creditors 46, and inventory was 17, right?
Yeah, right. And debtors were 71.
Debtors 71, creditors 46, and inventory 17 days, right?
17, yeah. In total, 43 days.
Yeah. And this last on the US subsidiaries, sir, now we have nothing to do in US, right? Everything is now we have exited the US market, no exposure to US now. And if you can just, and this project is now with the promoters, that individual capacity, or it will be sold to third party?
No, we have, it's the local US partner to whom we have sold. Local person has purchased this company.
So we don't have any exposure in US now. We are out of the US market.
No, yes.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Those were my questions, and thank you, sir. Thanks.
Thank you. Request participants to limit your question to 3 at a time. The next question is from the line of Jiten Doshi from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir, and congratulations on good set of numbers. Sir, on the UP project, so I'm assuming we have taken the 10% mobilization advance we were supposed to receive, right, sir?
Yeah.
So almost 145 crores.
So we have received only 5%. We are entitled to receive 10%, but yet we have received 5%.
So 5% when are we expected to take, sir?
So it depends on the requirement. As and when if we require for different projects, we will think of.
Okay, so basically right now only 80 crores we have taken.
Yeah.
Okay. And sir, and the UP project again, sir, last call also we were talking about that in Q3 we were expected to have a good execution of probably 30-40 crore per month. But yeah, we have seen a lower execution of around 38 crore in Q3, the UP project. But sir, going forward, as all the projects are now operational, what kind of run rate we can see per month in the UP project, sir?
See, there were two things, the prolonged monsoon and some of the projects, the water table was so high, so there were few issues related to foundation work. Otherwise, the projects are fully mobilized and that expectation of getting a good revenue every month to the extent of 50 crore from here is possible.
So 50 crore per month, right, sir?
Yeah, 50 crore from till March we are expecting that revenue to come from UP.
Okay, 50 crore in Q4 total. Okay.
50
So,
crore per month for the quarter.
Okay, sorry, my bad. So, sir, you said some revenue, madam said in the opening remarks, some 64 crore booked in December. So, that is booked, but that is not part of the revenue, right? UP?
It is part of revenue. It is revenue.
See, what we were expecting is 50 crore per month, that is per quarter 150. Instead of 150, we booked 64 crore this quarter. So that's the difference.
But in the presentation shows 38 crore. So that is what I'm saying. So 64 crore is what is 64? What is 68 crore then?
In total, cumulative.
64 is
Total. Okay. My bad. Okay. So, ma'am, this interest run rate of high interest rates will continue now because of the mobilization advance and more mobilization advance expected to come. So, this 10 crore run rate would be the new normal for us in terms of interest?
No, it will be on a lower side because this quarter's interest was on higher side, which included even some part of previous quarter also. Because they have guided me how this interest recovery will be done. So that has been included in this quarter.
Okay, so that is like 12% you are paying, right?
Yes. It is 10%, but it is some part of previous quarter interest has been included.
So then we can expect
on an average, 80 crores, 10% we can say. So every quarter, 2 crores will be on part of mobilization advance of UP.
Okay, 2 crore will be mobilization also. Okay. And this depreciation also will be the same now because of capitalization of the precast facility. The depreciation of 9.5 crore, probably 9.5 crore will continue, right, ma'am?
Yeah, that will be same now.
Okay.
So, out of 9 crores, 2 crore is towards precast facility.
How much? 2 crore?
Yes.
Great.
So if you see previous quarter depreciation was around 7 crore, so 2 crore increase is attributable to precast.
Okay. And sir, on the order, like you have said, new projects likely on the opening, just currently in the opening remarks. So just wanted to understand, sir, last time also we had updated on many projects like IIT projects and so when are these projects expected to be bidded out and when we can expect the inflow from these projects of 3,500 crore?
That was the general guidance of IIT as an aim. That depends on type of project coming in that quarter or that half quarter. So if you see that since last 4 or 6 months, we have never seen any good project in nearby Gujarat or where the company is growing or they are doing work. There is any project announced for IIT or AIMS. So it is not, that statement was in general that we can bid for such large size projects once we are through with the PQ criteria.
So there's Gandhi Ashram also was the last time some work.
Yeah, that I didn't say about the in the bid book. It is the project which is announced. I said the projects which are announced, so that can come in near future and on a larger volume of more than 1,000 crore.
Thank you. I would request Mr. Rishi to rejoin the queue for follow-up questions. Ladies and gentlemen, you may press star and 1 to ask a question at this time. The next question is from the line of Ankit Babel from Shubham Ventures. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, sir. So my question first is on the Padanpur project. So, sir, what is the total size of the project and what is the current unexecuted part of the project?
You are talking about Pandharpur?
Yeah, Pandharpur.
See, Pandharpur was 150 crore project was awarded to us. Out of that, about 75 crore project has already been initiated at the initial stage. And out of the 75 crore project, we have already completed about more than 30 crore. So this is 35 crore, I think. 35 crore work has been done. So 40 crore has to be done in the first phase of 75 crore.
So, sir, and what is the outstanding amount? Is this project under some dispute? I mean, is it halted? It's a moving project, or what's the status?
It is not on a dispute, but we have stopped the work because they are not having that much finance to pay us on time. So it is 20 crore outstanding, which because of which we have presently stopped the work and waiting for the money to come, and then only we can initiate the finishing of the first phase.
But do you have any idea that I mean, this project is will you complete, or there can be a chances of cancellation or something like that, or any other losses which can come up?
See, for the first phase, they have already announced some of the tenants, but the tenants are not paying on time, so they are not able to pay us on time. But at least the first phase has to be completed from their end. Because of that initiation, we have already get one letter from the CEO yesterday only, saying that they are ready to pay us 8 crores, and literally they can continue on paying in phases as and when we complete the project. But still we are thinking that whether to go ahead with that 8 crore or how we should go. But presently the work is being stopped just because of the finance.
Okay, and rest all projects of yours are on, I mean, moving stage. There is no halt or something slow moving. Yeah. Other than that, Bhiwandi one.
Yeah.
Okay, and the second question is your, earlier you had always guided that, to achieve a 20-25% growth year on year, the order inflow in a particular year should be at least 20-25% higher than the execution of that particular year. So if in this year, suppose if you ended around 1700, 1750 or whatever, so the required rate of order inflow is around 2100 crores minimum. So far you have done less than 1000 crores, around 980 crores. So in this current quarter, do you expect order inflow of 1000 to 1200 crores coming up?
Let us expect we get Central Vista, then 1172 crore. If it is added, we reach to more than 2000 crore. So that again depends upon the opportunity and type of project. See, it should not be like that how much we intend to have order book. I always go on the selection of the project at the right time for the right job. So you are absolutely right that we are expecting more than 2000 crore order book. Last year also, if you remember, we intend to have a growth of about 1600 crore, but which reached to 2400 crore inflow of order. So it depends on type of opportunity, type of project which is being announced, and the type of competition which is going on and which type of project. So I'm going little bit cautiously, and I'm still confident that we'll be able to reach to that minimum requirement of figure of order inflow.
Okay, so just a follow-up on this Central Vista project, you mentioned that you still have and awarded. But what is the timeline?
Not at all. See, your voice is not at all clear, but still I am answering.
Yes, Mr. Babel, your voice is breaking up.
Yeah, is it fine now?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I was talking about was this Central Vista project. So you did mention that you are expecting inflows from here, and only 5,000 crore worth of projects have been ordered till date, and a lot is still to be ordered. So are you pre-qualified for this now?
See, that's what I was saying, and I think I have made in my statement also. We are waiting for the pre-qualification of the first project for which we have bidded. Once we get that pre-qualification, or once we complete the SDB finally, and we got the total final completion, I think we'll be in position to bid for those projects. But presently we have bidded based on the certificate which we had, and let us waiting for the pre-qualification which is not yet concluded for this TMO office of 1122.
So actually I was confused here only, since your Surat Diamond project is yet not completed. Okay, so so first of all, do you expect that project to be fully completed by this quarter, Q4?
That depends on the tendering authority, that they allow a final fully completion or a substantial completion or a commission project. Because in a project there are few things which is being awarded at the tender stage, and there are few things which is being awarded as an extra work. So the value of certificate which we have got from the client was sufficing the purpose of this 1172 crore for, and based on that certificate we have already bid, and we are waiting that if we are qualified, that is fine. Otherwise, we will have to wait for the final completion.
Okay, I got it now. This is clear, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aditya Choksi, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you for taking my question, sir. First of all, congratulations for the good set of numbers. My question, in fact, is already answered previously, but just wanted to ask you one more thing, sir. For the next, the last quarter of this financial year, what sort of numbers are we looking for? Are we looking to close the year at 1,700 crores revenue and the margins also?
See, again, the projection remains the same, which is in the range of 1,650 to 1,750 or maybe 1,800 crore. That depends on how we can perform in the last quarter. So you can, because see, in construction company, it is very difficult to assume the right figure. So it depends on the execution pace, depending on the execution on other new projects which we are going to get within this next 1 or 1.5 months. So that depends. But the revenue generation which we have given in the range of 1,650 plus, that will be 100% sure. And we'll try to remain in the margins as EBITDA and PAT as the same what we have been saying in our last 2 quarters also, which will remain in the range of 12 and 13%.
Okay, sir. And sir, one more question. The project, the Central Vista that you are talking about, 1172 crores, whether we get it or not will be confirmed by the end of this quarter, right, sir?
Yeah, 110%, because still it is at the pre-qualification stage. Only the pre-qualified contractor is going to bid for this project. So that we are going to know within a short time.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. All the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Prem Khurana from Anand Rathi. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for taking my question, sir, and congratulations on very good set of numbers. So my first question was with respect to Bhiwandi again. Sorry to harp on this project again. I think there was a hearing due with respect to Bhiwandi for the month of November. So was there anything incremental that you would like to share from the hearing that took place in the month of November?
I think one time that there was a corona, the corona was affected. The advocate from their side had corona, so I think there was one hearing being postponed. And last few months, I think because of heavy wave of corona in Mumbai, I think High Court is not working. So probably we are waiting for the next hearing to come.
Okay, and we stick to our stance, right? I mean, the idea is if they were to approve our cost escalations, we would like to go ahead.
Yeah, either we get the cost escalation or we terminate the contract at this stage, and we may go for arbitration against the whatever cost which we have incurred till now.
Sure. And just to continue on this, I mean, when I look at the order backlog of almost 4,000 odd crores, so this 600 is still not moving for us, and there's another 126 which is essentially Pandapur, which is moving a little slow for us, or rather, I mean, we are going a little slow because of the payment issues.
Why do you want 6,000 crore when your pace is good enough to maintain at 4,000 crore?
No. So just want to understand from the perspective and the recent order that we have won. So let's say I'm in this Mahila battalion. When do we?
Again, I say it depends on the type of opportunity which we get. See, now once you talk me about Central Vista, the single project, largest project which L&T got was 3,500 crore for the 3 secretariat building. Sure. And if we get qualified in 3,500 crore, then we got one building straight away. We receive the full order book of the year. So that depends on what type of opportunities we are getting. So we should concentrate on what is the better opportunity for the company, rather than going on the what size and what numbers we can get it at the end of the year as an order inflow. I would put it like that.
Sure. And sir, just one last from my side. I mean, on state mix, so Rajasthan is almost negligible for us now. And even Maharashtra, I mean, adjusted for these two, we have nothing. So any intent to kind of try and diversify in terms of geographic presence and then get some orders in these two geographies? Any number in mind that you would like to have?
There is nothing like intent to diversify in this state or that state. it is always about where we have an experience. It is always about what type of project it is. It is always about what type of competition it is. So company should concentrate more on what the type of project, whether the project is profitable for the company or not. And if we forget about the state, then there is a project and that competition is niche. So it depends. We decide on that whether to go in that state or not, or whether we have that experience in that state or not. That all comes into picture when we get the tender of in that state. So it is always decided based on the type of project, type of competition, type of pre-qualifying criteria, and our own existence in that state. These are the all 4 or 5 parameters which work on when we are diversifying in different states or not.
Sure. No, I was asking from the perspective, I mean, given the fact that you've already put in efforts, you already set up you already have a setup in these 2 states. So the idea would be to kind of keep these resources occupied, right? I mean, the idea would be to kind of get some numbers.
You are absolutely right. But sometimes once you have a bad experience in Maharashtra for the beyond in Pandharpur, of course you will think twice. But again, if you are going to bid for an Adani project, we are going to bid for those types of projects. So depends on what type of project it is, which is the authority which is going to execute this project. So such types of things are more important other than the state.
And Hetal ma'am, just if you could share the gross debt number as of 31st December. What was the gross debt on our book?
Yeah, see, as I already mentioned, the limit utilization was 84 crore and our long-term debt is around 30 crore.
30, right?
Yes, 30, which includes precast loan of 20 crore.
Sure. Thank you. That's it from my end. All the very best for future.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dipesh Sancheti from Manya Finance. Please go ahead.
Hello, am I audible?
You're audible, sir, but I would request you to come on the handset mode, please.
Yeah. Just a question regarding the new, in line with Bharat Diamond Bourse made at Surat, there is also a plan for the jewelry industry to make a manufacturing hub at Navi Mumbai. Now, since we had a bad experience with Maharashtra government, are we going to bid for that project, or we are not looking at anything like it?
So this is not, again, the association is different and Maharashtra government is different and Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana is different. So it is not only about the government. It is again what type of project it is. What is how this project is being financed. See, when we talk about Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana, it is mostly financed by the people who are going to apply for that project. And when we talk about such project, there is always a fund. If government is announcing such type of project, they already have a provision of those funds in their budget. But this project which you are saying, I think it is from a private association or the Gem and Jewellery Association.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with government organization. So probably if we are called for, we will always go and bid for this type of project and give us our presentation also.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Ravi Naredi from Naredi Investments. Please go ahead.
Really, Pratap bhai, you earned ever highest net profit in one quarter. Thanks for the same, and you are doing fantastic things in company. Sir, my point is that this 9% net profit margin now sustainable for future quarters?
See, again, Naredi ji, मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि it should be in the range of X and Y. So we have always tried to reach to 9, maybe 7.5 to 8 or 8 to 8.5. So we will try to be remain in this type of range. When we bid for the project, we go with some risk, calculated risk, but those risks should not be less than 5% of profit at the end of the day. So we calculate those types of risk and we try to remain in the range of 7.5 to 8.5 or 7.5 to 9.
Okay, fantastic. And sir, can you give some picture about the company in next 3 years, where we will want to take up this company in top line growth? Or
I usually calculate by multiplying by 20% growth each year. Rest of the things you know better. Rest of the thing I concentrate more on my execution part. By the figures आप लोग निकालते रहो ताकि मैं तो अपना काम करते जाऊँ.
Definitely you are doing very fantastic work, and God bless all of us so we can grow in your leadership. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jiten Rushi from Axis Capital. Please go ahead.
Just one follow-up question, ma'am. See, the debt of 185 crore has remained unchanged this in December, right? September we had 185 crore. So is it the same only? Gross debt?
You are talking about gross debt?
Yeah, gross debt.
Yeah, right.
And cash balance also would be around 195. Cash and bank would be 195.
Cash, I have already mentioned 215 crore is the total bank deposit.
Cash and bank deposit. But free cash is how much? Free cash? 33 is a free cash. I'm talking about other than.
Yes.
Okay, so this 215 is cash and bank balance total. Okay, got it.
Yes. There is no other significant bank balance in other current accounts.
Okay, ma'am. That's it from my side. Thank you and all the best, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Manoj Rawat from HDFC Securities. Please go ahead.
Yes, so my question is, in terms of qualification, what is the certification from HDB project now?
Can you ask me again? I couldn't hear you. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, in terms of qualification, what is the certification from Surat Diamond Board project now?
Sorry to interrupt you, Manoj. Can you please move your mic a bit away from yourself and then ask your question? It's not clear, your audio.
Yeah, am I clear now? Hello.
This is better. Just move the mic a bit away from you, sir, and talk.
Yeah. So I'm asking, in terms of qualification, what is the certification from HDB project now?
See, I think actually I am not able to hear you completely, but I think you are trying to ask me a question. What are the qualifications which we are going to get from STB? I think this is the question you want to ask?
Yes, sir, exactly.
So that was I've already answered in my question that we already bidded for one project of Center Vista based on the certificate which we have and the work which we have done. At the end of the completion of February and when we completely hand over the project, I think we'll be in the range of 2,000 plus crore qualifying criteria bidding process as a company for a single largest project up to 2,000 crore.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jay Shah from Navrang Enterprise. Please go ahead. Jay Shah from Navrang Enterprise, your line has been unmuted. Please go ahead with your question. We would request you to unmute yourself from your mobile and go ahead with your question.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. Please speak a bit louder and ask your question.
Congratulations, sir, for a great set of numbers. I just wanted to ask, as the projects keep coming in, we are seeing that the receivable days are going up. Is there any mechanism except for these 10% or 5% advances that we generally have with the contract that we are using to keep the receivable days in check?
See, we mentioned in our earlier calls also, we have this mobilization, and regarding the recoverability of dues on monthly basis, we have some ad hoc payment received from the clients based on the tender terms. So that will range within 70-75% of the total billing value, and the rest amount is released once the RA bill is certified. So this receivable days, you are right that it has been extended. So this will reflect some of the projects which will fall. Majority of work has been executed in the last month itself. So the amount of those recoverability will be reflected in next month. So if we see out of we have around 380 crores of receivables, so that amount will be recovered within next 2 months.
So basically, you're saying in quarter 4, maybe that amount will start reflecting and it can again come to our average of 60-65 days.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Thank you. That's it from my side. Congratulations and all the best.
Thank you.
Krishna, I think we are nearing to 5 o'clock. Are we going to continue or you just said at the end of my verge of completion?
Yes, sir. Almost completed, sir. We'll take the last call.
Okay.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Faisal Hawa from HG Hawa and Company. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, do we plan to get into other sectors like railways or even like bus depots, which are very popular in Gujarat, or even refurbishment of railway stations? And what kind of work do we see from hospitals coming up for us?
See, as and when there depends on the type of contract. If the contracts are on PPP model where we have to invest and then we have to generate revenue, I think we are not 100% clear about going on such types of projects. So if it is purely a contract wherein government is paying you fully and then transferring to them, which is being utilized by them only. So such types of redevelopment projects like railway station or bus station. Presently, I would say we are not so much keen to bid for such type of project. But when these types of projects being developed directly by the government, we will surely quote for the tender. But if it is on a PPP model, I think I'm not too much interested.
What about roads and hospitals?
Roads, railways have been since last 4 years. Then we are not too much interested, or that's not our forte, or that's not where we get qualified. So we will building is our passion, and we'll try to remain in the building sector as far as possible.
And sir, what kind of percentage can we get business from the precast factory? What could be the revenue percentage in 2 years end?
You see, precast is something which is a new technology which we are trying to input in the sector of building construction when there is going to be a shortfall of labor in next few years. So presently it is very difficult to decide on what type of revenue we get. But the investment which we have made, we are trying to we have made the calculation that this revenue can be converted into profit after 4 to 5 years.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, due to time constraints, that was the last question for today. I now hand the conference over to Mr. P.S. Patel.
Thank you, all of you. Thank you, everybody, for participating in the earnings calls. We hope we have answered most of your queries. If we have missed out on any of your questions, kindly reach out to our IR advisor, Christine, and we will get back to you offline. Wishing everyone to remain safe. Thanks again to all of you. And thanks to Krishna. Over to you.
Thank you. On behalf of PSP Projects Limited, that concludes this conference. Thanks for joining us, and you may now disconnect your line.